Well, Washington is backpedaling on its recent decision to sanction Israeli settlers in the occupied West Bank. That's after Israel's Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich threatened to collapse the Palestinian economy. Media reports claim the U.S. sent a letter to the Israeli Finance Ministry earlier this week, clarifying that the sanctions the Biden administration imposed on settlers earlier this year were not intended to push Israeli banks to close the accounts of the targeted individuals. Washington previously urged Israel to do more to prevent settler violence, which it called an obstacle to peace in the Middle East. Knesset member Simcha Rotman sees the move as recognition of Israel's power and authority.
There are two important lessons here. Firstly, that a firm stand on the sovereignty of the State of Israel is not only duty, but it leads to the world power to understand it has crossed the line. Secondly, Bezalel Smotrich knows how to place the red line without blinking. Well done.
This comes as the war in Gaza nears the 6-month mark. Public support for Israel in the U.S. has recently plummeted, even as the White House stands firm on its backing of the military campaign. An increasing number of Americans want an immediate ceasefire. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators are rallying against the re-election of President Biden.
Palestinians are dying right now because of your actions. Palestinians are dying right now because of your actions. Because of what you're doing.
Activists in New York disrupted the biggest fundraising event in the Democratic Party's history, calling on Joe Biden to stop arming Israel. Hundreds also took to the streets waving Palestinian flags and chanting slogans. American Muslim lawyer Hassan Shibli says Washington's stated intent to sanction Israeli settlers was not actually genuine.
It's not surprising at all. Biden is right now funding and enabling a genocide against the Palestinian people. It's clear he has no regard for the blood of Palestinian children. He is bought and paid for by the Israeli lobby. And it's clear that his initial sanctions was just a small, little, insignificant PR stunt because he knows he's going to lose the election. He's lost the support of the Arab American and the Muslim American swing vote across the country. There's a nationally trending Abandon Biden campaign, which I'm proudly part of, that is committed to abandon Biden in this upcoming election. He will lose the election. I think he was desperately trying to take some measures to try to win some support. But obviously, he's recognized it's too little, too late, and he's caved in now even further to the Israeli lobby that is buying out American politicians like Biden to act against the interests of the American people, against human rights, against justice, in further interests of the Israeli pariah genocidal state. I mean, it essentially makes the sanctions worthless and meaningless. And, it's stated that he did that in response to Israeli leadership threatening to punish Palestinian banks. But the solution, if Biden really wanted to hold the settlers, and remember, this whole conflict started because Israel is occupying Palestinian land in violation of international law. It is killing unarmed civilians that are Palestinian. It's given second-class status to Palestinians under Israeli control. They do not have equal rights. It is an apartheid state. The solution would be for Biden to increase the restrictions, increase the sanctions, and immediately actually cut off all military aid to Israel in order to get it to comply with international law, not to capitulate and give in to their threats and their demands.